Good evening, everyone. Good morning, Taiwan. Welcome to another wonderful tasting with the Virtual Tasting Society. I am Vadim Perlovsky, and today I'm excited to welcome a world-renowned brand coming out of Taiwan called Kavalan. A lot of people know about them, and for me especially, I'm excited to dive deep and learn all about this brand and try some amazing single malts coming out from that region. Joining us today is an honor to welcome Kaitlyn Tsai, the global brand ambassador for Kavalan Single Malt Distillery. The guests joining us to learn all about this wonderful spirit are the Los Angeles Whiskey and Spirits Guild. And as always, David Donahue is the president and here to tell us hello, David.
Vadim, thank you very much. Really do appreciate it for all the work that you put into bringing us these virtual tasting experiences. I have to say, like most of us here, are super excited to try something that most of us have not. Kavalan, I have not had it before. So Kaitlyn, thank you for taking your time as a very well-renowned brand ambassador. Congratulations on being, I think, voted the best or the brand ambassador in the world. Is that correct?
We're Whiskey Brand Ambassador of the Year.
Thank you. Congratulations. That must not be an easy thing. I know it requires a lot of work. To all the members that are here, welcome to those who I have seen many times. And for anybody new, welcome. And Vadim will go over best practices. Looking forward to this. Have a great night.
Thank you very much, David. So as David said, welcome to all the regulars. Lovely to see you again. Anybody who's here for the first time, welcome. Thank you for joining us. A couple of quick housekeeping. We're here to get nerdy and ask questions, so please do. The chat's your best friend. Toss any questions, tasting notes, what have you in the chat. If you do wish to ask a question in person, you're more than welcome to unmute yourself. Just remember to put yourself back on mute so we're not talking over each other. There's no background noise and whatnot. We want to be respectful of the presenter, of the brand, of each other. But yeah, this is not a one-way TV. We're here to learn and ask questions and get nerdy. That's what we're all here for. So yeah, participate, ask questions. But without further ado, I want to ask Kaitlyn, we have 6 amazing pours in front of us. Do you want to tell us what order you'd like us to taste these in tonight?
Yeah, could I share the screen and show you the order?
Yes, please. Yeah, you should be able to.
Thank you. Can everyone see the slides?
Yep, perfect.
Okay, so I will just jump to the order.
You're welcome to introduce yourself and do that, and then we'll get to the order.
Yeah, sure. I will go back for that. So the first one will be Kavalan Classic.
By the way, luckily, I know I pointed it out, the Kavalan Classic in the US is actually 43%. So we get a little bit more alcohol by volume.
Yeah, and then Concept Master for finish. And third one is the Bourbon Oak, 46%. And then Oloroso Sherry Oak, and then followed by Vinho Barrique and Oloroso Sherry Cask at single cask strength.
Fantastic, thank you so much. So we'll start with, as you said, the classic, the Concert Master, the ex-bourbon, the Sherry Oak, then the Vinho Barrique, and then the single cask. Perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. So I will go back to the first slide. Good evening and good morning, everyone. No, only me in the morning time. But I'm brand ambassador for Kavalan Distillery, and welcome to the virtual tasting. And I would like to say thank you and Virtual Tasting Society to set up this beautiful event. So my name is Kaitlyn Tsai, and I joined Kavalan team in 2017. Now I also look after global PR for Kavalan Distillery. And feel free to connect me on the Facebook and Instagram. I have put up the QR code below. So you can find me at K99Girl on Instagram. Before we start, I would like to invite you to watch a 3 minutes Kavalan introduction video. And please let me know if it's too laggy. I will skip the video. So.
Along the boundary between mountains and sea can be found the birthplace of a new legend, Taiwan. we experience a small piece of history unfolding. Kavalan Distillery was established in 2005 and has started on a phenomenal journey ever since. Sacred mountains nurture an ancient water source. In answer to the call of mountain and sea, Kavalan transforms the soul of nature into the soul of a whiskey. From mashing, fermentation, and distillation to maturation and bottling, Kavalan treats every detail with exceptional care. Our state-of-the-art STR Shave Toast Recharge Treatment defines Kavalan's mission for perfection. The flames awaken lost memories held within the barrels. The result is an exquisite whiskey, rich in flavor and perfectly balanced in body. With over 450 gold medals and multiple championships worldwide, Kavalan has proven to the world its extraordinary quality and craftsmanship. It has placed Taiwan among the world's leading whiskey distilleries. Kavalan has upended the impossible using sheer innovation and uncompromising belief on its unparalleled quest to becoming a 100-year distillery. The goal of making world-class whiskey for centuries to come. Kavalan Single Malt Whiskey, pure Taiwan.
You can see our logo is laid out vertically to emphasize AAA, representing our persistence and pursuit of quality. And the words below are single malt whiskey. So every drop of Kavalan whiskey you drink is single malt whiskey. The raw material is malted barley, and it is mashed, fermented, distilled, and matured at Kavalan Distillery. Before telling you the distillery story, let's have a look at the cork on Kavalan bottle. Maybe you don't have the, I will show you, it's not very clear, but the cork is embossed with a classic car, which is the logo of our parent group company, King Car Group. Since the cars have the energy to keep moving forward, and the Chinese pronunciation of king sounds like gold, so it is named King Car. But we have nothing to do with the car industry. So that is our parent group company, King Car. When it comes to King Car Group, we need to mention the soul of Kavalan Distillery, Mr. Lee, father and son. For a long time before Kavalan Distillery was established, Chairman Mr. Lee Sr. had a deep love for single malt whiskey. He dreamed of making 100% single malt whiskey from Taiwan. So King Car actually initially made household cleaning products and then entered the food and beverage industry in 1979 to produce mineral water, tea, and sports drinks. And it happened that we have very quality water source in Yilan County. So actually in our distillery, we have our own mineral bottling water plant. We have several brands for the mineral water, and then we build up our own distillery there. And I would say their boldness and courage help King Car successfully build up Kavalan Distillery to represent Taiwanese on the world stage. And in 2018, the Lees were honored with the highest recognition of World Whiskies Awards. That is quite a historical moment, I would say. So this evening, we will go through these whiskeys from 40% to the over 50% ABV. So be sure to have some water beside you. And if you want to drop a little bit water into your whiskey, that will release more aromas and help you to differentiate all these aromas from the whiskey. The first one is Kavalan Classic. It was our inaugural whiskey and also the first expression in Kavalan series. It is also Taiwan's first single malt whiskey. And you can see the iconic square bottle. We are inspired by Taipei 101, the landmark of Taipei, which is a skyscraper building. It's 509 meters. A skyscraper in Taipei. So let's nose it and find if you can guess what kind of cask we use in the recipe. You can find something like vanilla and also a bit like creamy and coconut flavors. We use the first few bourbon casks in that. And in the background, maybe you can find a little bit dry fruit flavor and I think something like raisin and a bit dark chocolate. And the spiciness is quite distinct. This one we crafted from 16 different recipes. And actually we use first few bourbon casks, first few sherry casks. And so you can find it has the woody notes because we use the first few casks. And also the spiciness, I think, helping make the body even richer and longer. You can find even it's 40%, but you can still find the finish is quite long and everlasting. And also some tropical fruitness actually comes from the refill cask we blend into this recipe. So something like mango, pineapple, and a bit cherry, they are actually the characteristics of Kavalan's new make. It's quite elegant. I think this one for a beginning, it's a very good one. I would always regard it as the breakfast whiskey in Kavalan range. You can take your time and I will just move on to talk another topic or something, but you can always go back to try to taste and compare with the other whiskey we have. And you can also, I will see the chat room. If you notice anything or you find anything good on the palate, can share with us. So this is the Taipei 101, the skyscraper, and also the in the brand hub, it's our landmark. I would say Kavalan Classic is quite meaningful for Kavalan. Before, when we first launched this whiskey, actually even Taiwanese ourselves, we are not reluctant to try our own domestic whiskey because and we have drunk Scotch for so many years, and before that there is no any other distillery built in Taiwan. So actually in the beginning when we face a lot of difficulties to convince our consumers to try our whiskey, and so at that time our distillery also opened our own showroom to try to get in close to the consumers and try to push our own products on the shelf. That is a very tough time we have been through. But in 2010, on January 25th, Kavalan Classic came top of a taste test organized by the Times. That is quite surprised. Charles McLean, the godfather of whiskey, he said that when he received this Far East bottle, he think that this one will be entered the contest just for fun. But so he invited lots of his friends, and on Burns night they taste the four bottles of whiskey together. So that means Kavalan is in the was in the contest with another 3 Scotch together, and it's that's unexpectedly Kavalan Classic got the highest score from the contest, so he got a 27.5, and Charles McLean said, "Oh my God, is this April Fool's Day?" And the next day we saw on the newspaper, the Times reported this event. So from that on, more Taiwanese and also more people over the world heard about the name of Kavalan, and they become more open-minded to embrace the world whiskey. And also after Japanese whiskey also got a very high performance on the world whiskey competitions. And finally, people recognize Kavalan whiskey after them. I've heard about them going on barrel buying tips.
Kaitlyn, the question was about your barrel program.
Oh, do you mean about the recipe or how we purchase our barrels?
Purchasing your barrels, and I think I saw that you shave, toast, and then do something else for the third thing.
So actually, the special treatment STR is for our wine barrels, because we source our wine barrel from all around the world, including America, also South Africa, and also France, Portuguese. So we have to do a treatment for securing the consistency and quality for our wine barrels, but not for each type of cask. For example, for bourbon and sherry, we don't do STR, but only for wine cask. Sometimes for the refill cask, we only do the shaving, toasting, and recharring. Did I answer your question? Or
So the other question was, is there any oak in Taiwan? Do you make any of your own virgin casks, or are you sourcing everything?
We source, at the moment we source our barrels overseas, not in Taiwan. Yeah, because the pine oak or the most oak trees in Taiwan are in the national area, national forests. So they are protected. Yeah.
Thank you.
Passage on the classic. So we do a minimum for 4 years. So because for export and also in our own company policy, we will mature our whiskey for over 4 years and then bottle it to see if it reached the perfection of the maturation. Then we will bottle it for blending or for single cask. So let's look into the origin of Kavalan whiskey. Kavalan comes from Taiwan, and in Taiwan we say our island is shaped like a sweet potato. We are southeast of China, Japan, Korea, and northeast of the Philippines. And China is only 130 kilometers away from Taiwan at the shortest point. On the classic even, and Taiwan is located in the Ring of Fire, so you can see a lot of mountains, and especially very high mountains, over 3,000 meters. There are 268 peaks in Taiwan, and Taiwan is really a great place for rock climbing and also for hiking. So if someday you would like to plan a trip to Taiwan, please inform me, and I would like to just bring you around seeing all the facilities in Kavalan distillery. And I would say the mountains makes the forest vegetation becomes a natural reservoir. So it produces very pristine and also very clean and very sweet water for this island. And if you look at Taiwan on the Google Earth, you will see it's like covered by a green blanket. And Taiwan is very warm with high humidity, and also it's very warm and it rains a lot in every seasons. We have monsoon rains in summer times and also in winter times. So actually at Kavalan, we haven't faced the shortage problem of water, so we can produce whiskey 24/7 for every year. And it's so beautiful. It has a nickname of Formosa. And actually the beauty of Taiwan was first recognized in 14th centuries. So in 4 centuries ago, actually the Portuguese settlers sail across the east side of Taiwan, and they see so lofty luxuriant forests on the east side of Taiwan, and they shouted out Ila Formosa, which means beautiful island. So that name stuck. Until now, we still sometimes say, oh, Formosa is our island. And Taiwan is surrounded by the sea, so therefore more exposed to the Pacific Ocean winds. And our island is very small. It's 400 kilometers from north to south, and just 150 kilometers from west to east. So if you travel by bike around the island, it will take you just 7 days. So if someone really wants to come to enjoy the island trip, you can just take the tram or just jump on your bike, and then you can see the whole island in very short period. And in Taiwan, you can easily enjoy delicious food, massage, and hot springs. Especially, you can experience night market culture and feel the warmth and hospitality of Taiwanese. And you can also enjoy the convenience in the concrete jungle, and then reconnect with nature anytime. Usually just 30 minutes, you can enjoy the different lives in the different region. So this is a place I would say where we nurture our world-class whiskey. So this is a night market. Lots of bubble tea shops in Taiwan. Also restaurant, food stands open until midnight. You can enjoy our beautiful life here. Hope some of you have been to Taiwan before. The second whiskey we are going to taste is Kavalan Concept Master Port Finish. Hope you get this one. It has also in the square shape, because for entry-level Kavalan, we want to use this iconic square shape bottle to make it more distinctive.
So you say it's a port cask finish. Is this just the regular classic finished in a port cask, or is the recipe different?
The recipe is different. So the first 3 years, it's mature in the bourbon cask. And then the 4th year, we switch into the ruby port cask. So you can find the marshmallow sweetness and berry flavors. I think that is from our ruby port cask. And also the brownish red color is also coming from the port cask.
Vadim, do you know the MSRP on the Concert Master by any chance?
You're looking between 70 and 90.
And availability, is it limited, or is it something
It's
that
fairly available. I can put a few links in the chat. There's a few retailers that have it locally.
hasn't turned into tater bait yet?
These are quite delicious, right? At 43%, you wouldn't expect this much flavor. I'm very much impressed.
This one, I always think it can be very good dessert whiskey. After meal, if you want to help your digestive, and then you can drink this one and pair it with the chocolate or something like cake or a cinnamon roll, and that will be taste really great. And I also make this one with highball. It will be very refreshing with the soda water and also with a very huge ice in the glass.
Like a clear, large hand-carved ice cube that, right?
Yeah. I really like the ginger taste. And also a bit something like a bit citrus on the finish. No ice.
Mm. This is so soft.
Yeah, very soft and quite sweet. So make it softer. Like, it's very well balanced. I think for a Kavalan whiskey, I can find the body is very rich and the flavor is complex, but at the same time, it achieves a very good balance on the body. So this one has a concert master. Actually, the concert master is the lead violinist, and from tuning and leading the orchestra to working closely with the conductor. We have another expression is called king card conductor, and the role actually requires excellent interpersonal skills and musical talent to act as a chief chief intermediary between the musicians and the conductors. So I would say Kavalan concert master has found the perfect balance for the different barrels. So for each maturation and then it can perform a beautiful symphony. I really like this one. It can be before you go to sleep, if you just drink 10 milliliters, and then you will have a very great sleep. I really like this one. And if you are a sleep mouse, you will really love this one too.
That pause after 10 milliliters, I thought you were going to say 10 grams, and some of us were going to get excited.
10 milliliter, yeah. Mindful drinking. So I have also paired with like brownies and coffee cakes. I think the sweet taste can bring out the dessert sweetness. Really nice with popcorn chicken. Oh. Yeah, also for the salty desserts, maybe. Yeah. So let's look into the location of Kavalan Distillery. Kavalan Distillery resides in the northeastern part of Taiwan, in between Snow Mountain Range and Central Mountain Range. And the township, Yilan, Yuanshan, actually is known for its water. It has a nickname of hometown of water. So you can see, actually in summertime, we will have a monsoon rain from this side. And then in wintertime, we will have the monsoon rain from this way. So actually in 4 seasons, we have never faced the shortage problem of water. And also Yilan County is like spaced out in Scotland. Yilan has unique geography, water, and natural humidity, and creating the very perfect condition for making whiskey. Let's go into a little bit detail for the water source of Kavalan. Yilan actually received over 210 days for rain and no dry periods around the whole year. And also, we are surrounded by the Snow Mountain Range. Snow Mountain Range is the highest point is 3,880 meters. So it is so large and it can contain so much water for Kavalan distillery. So we have very abundant and very pristine groundwater to make our whiskey. And the water directly supplies the distillery located in the foothills of the Snow Mountain Range. So after it has seeped down through the mineral-rich earth, it actually has absorbed magnesium, calcium, and zinc, a lot of vital nutrients for enhancing the fermentation process. So I would say when you taste Kavalan whiskey, you can find the creaminess and also the smoothness. And also sometimes you can find the natural sweetness. It actually comes from our very high quality water. In the future, if you come to Taiwan, you can taste our water. Actually, even it has no any flavors, it still have that natural sweetness on the palate. It is a very good foundation for our whiskey. So Kavalan was established in 2005. We are quite of a late start. And at that time, we were the one and only whiskey distillery in Taiwan. Before Taiwan joined WTO in 2002, there was a monopoly system on the alcohol business. So we can have our own private brewery, wineries or distilleries. Only government are allowed to do this alcohol business. However, our founder, they noticed the potential of single malt whiskey, not only whiskey, but they focus on single malt whiskey. They have such a vision to make single malt whiskey from Taiwan. And as soon as the monopoly system was lifted, they led a research team from Taiwan to Scotland and Japan, and also some other whiskey producing nations to look at how they operate their distillery and what kind of equipment they use, and then come back to Taiwan and start their project Kavalan in 2005. It took only 9 months to build up Kavalan distillery from zero to up and running and producing our first drop of new make. That is quite a very precise, and they do everything very precise and effective. Also because they are family-owned business, so they made their decision and they started to realize it. Only on just 9 months later in 2006, March 11, 3:30 p.m., we got our first drop of new make rolling out of the still. That is a historical moment. Before that, we never think that on this far east island, we can produce whiskey. We can have such a good brand making whiskey in Taiwan. I would say the key to making award-winning whiskey in 16 years is this gentleman, Dr. Jin Swan. He also has a name, the Einstein of whiskey. He instructed so many different distilleries in different regions. Maybe you have heard like Pandarins, and also I think there are a lot more in India or in a place you have never heard. Dr. James Wang, he fly to that place and to mentor the blending team or to the distilling team. I would say he left a great legacy for Kavalan distillery for sure. And at that time, when we tried to invite the whiskey experts to come to Taiwan to discuss how to build up a distillery in Taiwan, at that time actually we sent out so many mails to the persons. But Dr. Jin Swan, he he's the one say yes to Kavalan distillery. Yeah, most of people when they heard, oh, you are going to build up a distillery in a subtropical climate, and they even didn't know where Taiwan is, and then they say, oh, it is impossible. They will waste a lot of time and money, and that is impossible to make high quality whiskey in Taiwan. But our lay consultant James Wong, he say he accept the challenge, and he actually he think for about 3 days, and he study the local climate in Taiwan, especially in Yilan County, and to see the temperature profile in 4 seasons, and also to see the humidity in Yilan County. Actually, he noticed the humidity is quite similar to Islay in Scotland, but for temperature profile, it's higher for 10 to 15 centigrade. So he think that it is possible to make in Taiwan, but you have to have a very careful temperature control during all the production process. And he also come to Taiwan and set up the parameter for producing process with our team. And he always carry with him a squirrel of whiskey. There are 100 Scottish distilleries know-how inside his booklet, and he actually shared this with our team and mentor our team, deliver his knowledge, and ensure the consistency of quality, production quality at Kavalan. So we are grateful for his contribution. Very much thanks for his legacy. This is quite beautiful around Kavalan this year. So we are going to taste our third expression, which is bourbon oak at 46%. Every time when I taste Kavalan's bourbon oak, I always think that it is not like any other. It has a lot of tropical fruitness. You can see the golden yellow color for this one.
This one is a surprise. I was really kind of taken by the mouthfeel, and then just how smooth and luscious the palate flavors were. I mean, and when you said tropical fruits, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely getting those. This one's very impressive.
Yeah, that's true. I like something like popcorns, and a little bit caramel flavors, caramelized popcorn, and the oak spiciness. It's quite good, and a little bit something like mint and basil. It's also bring the refreshing taste. So for someone has tried our Castrian's version of bourbon cask before, for this one, actually we blend several bourbon casks together and add the water to dilute it to 46%. So actually it will be more balanced, but it has such characteristics of single cask, not like the Castrian whiskey. Castrian whiskey sometimes is more interesting. It has its own personality. But for this one, it's more balanced and at the lower strength. age on the bourbon, it is also at least 4 years. It depends on when they blend the bourbon cask, they have to check through their chemical analysis to make sure it is good as well. And also we will do the sensory as assessment by our own self, and then to make sure it can be bottled. So that, and then we will blend it together.
Kaitlyn, is this one, I'm guessing your 43, your classic series is chill filtered. Do you chill filter the 46 percenters?
46% we don't do chill filtered.
Okay.
Yeah, but below 46 we do.
That's usually the standard.
Mhm.
It's interesting that it says that, I'm reading the back and it says bottling date is on the bottle, and the bottling date is on this is 2017. Wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting. And this one's
For-
2021, so one is older, one is newer. That's interesting.
Yeah.
How much ex bourbon do you put out per year?
I have to go back to our team and give you this
Yes.
answer. Yeah.
We play a game, Stump the Brand Ambassador. I got a point.
Great question. Yeah. Yeah. The I think bourbon has at the time, I think Kavalan faced the shortage problem of sherry cask, but for bourbon cask, we do have a very steady resource from bourbon industry. Yeah, we source our barrels from Missouri, Kentucky, from Jim Beam, Buffalo Trace, Wild Turkey, all these very famous bourbon distillery. So I would think a lot of people think bourbon cask will be very bland and very ordinary, but I think sometimes Kavalan's bourbon are underestimated. It tastes much more complex, and actually our bourbon cask strengths, so this bourbon cask, or we say bourbon cask strengths, they are the most award-winning whiskey in Kavalan range. So I hope more people will be willing to try our bourbon cask.
I know a lot of whiskey drinkers that tend to favor, after you've had a lot of finished and a lot of wine casks, you tend to like bourbon cask because it really lets the distillery character shine through. And we have a member in our group who's really great with tasting notes, and he was saying that how much he loves the Kavalan bourbon casks because Kavalan shines through. The wine isn't there to mask it.
Yeah, that's true. So is bourbon single cask sounds. So making whiskey in Taiwan, it's not very much different from making whiskey in Scotland or Japan or other parts of the world. You can see milling, mashing, fermentation, distillation, and maturation, and finally bottling. In order to make sure that we can obtain the quality of the whiskey, we actually pay a lot of attention to details. Core bottlings, so this line is different. Yeah, so for core bottlings, usually it will be Betty single malt, Betty different single malt whiskey together to create the flavor profile, or yeah. So for the core bottlings are 40%, 46% below, but for Solis line and for trademark reason, it is labeled Castron series in United States. So for Solis line, they are actually the single cask and non-filtration, and also you can find the cask number on each one to see when we filled in the new make. But for the core range, we blend different barrels together, so we didn't label the cask number on each whiskey. Yeah. So for making process, For example, when it comes to milling process, which is the first stage that we do at Kavalan, we use mills to break all this multi-barley into the 3 portions, including the husk, grits, and fine, which is 20%, 70%, 10%, and this should be very precise. That is like Coca-Cola color. When you put your finger behind the bottle, you can see your finger.
What's really funny is that somebody pointed out, look at that color, right? So I decided to raise up these two, that they're so dark, right? Let me see if I can get that again.
So for my Solis Oloroso, it is 2010 we filled in the new make, and bottle in 2019. So this is 9 years Kavalan Oloroso Sherry. Yeah, it's quite
But for me, it wasn't even the Sol. I raised one Solist, one X Sherry that's also dark at 46%. Something to keep in mind that this Sherry is dark as heck.
Yeah, that's true. Even the 46% is still achieve a very beautiful color.
And no color added, right? You guys don't do any coloring?
No.
Okay.
So at Kavalan, because we are in the subtropical climate, so we gain the color in just one season, one summer. It can be very, very dark amber color. So we don't do any colorings in Kavalan this year. So I just said about the milling. Our colleague.
Since you're talking about the grains, somebody had asked earlier, where do you source your grains from?
Mostly from England.
England, okay. And are you? Go ahead. Sorry.
10% from Scandinavia in North Europe. Yeah.
Okay. And are you just getting all one type of barley, just mass produced?
Yes. So we have changed variety of through times. Yeah, but they are from commercial maltings. Yeah. So I think most of the distilleries will do the same thing.
Yeah. So you're not. The question was, here in America, a lot of craft distilleries are practicing with like specialty malts, doing different kinds of malts and different kinds of yeast and all these things. So you're playing with wood for now. You're not doing the malts just yet. Is that right?
Yeah. Maybe in the future. So at the moment, because in Taiwan, the barley, it's not very suitable for growing barley. But in the future, maybe we will try to use some local barley, maybe in the future. Yeah, and for yeast, so actually we have experimented using our own yeast, white yeast before, but actually we are warned by SWA. So they do have some regulation to as you have to conform their terms, something like you can use your own something. So that is why so maybe in the future we can see another way to use our own white yeast or our own barley, to produce our whiskey.
That's so interesting that you have to listen to the SWA. I mean, you're not producing a Scotch, so what do you care what the Scotch Whiskey Association says?
Yeah, that is quite weird, but but that is true. Yeah, but not. Maybe that is not mandatory. But we didn't know the consequences. So we sometimes we have to just.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were saying milling before I rudely interrupted. Continue with the milling, please.
So our quality control teams, they carry out the size determination work and also the monitor granule size on a daily basis to make sure the barley is at what we call the golden ratio. And so for the next stage, for the mashing process, we managed to extract the maximum amount of starch into glucose by natural conversion using internal enzymes within the multi-barley. is somebody's real name Kavalan? Yeah, so Kavalan is the old name of Yilan County. It is also, yeah, so we want to honor this place for the abundant resource we use. So we named our brand Kavalan. So then the mashing process is the extraction of sugar from the solid malts. And we have to pour it into 3 times hot water. And the temperature is also precisely controlled from 65, 85 to 90 centigrade. And then we mix the barley and also the water together. And we will have the high quality wort after mashing process. And we will cool down the cool down the wort and then put into our wash bags. Sorry, I tried to. I'm sure, hope so. Okay, so followed by its fermentation. We add the yeast in order to convert the sugar into alcohol and certain aromas or flavors for our wash to create the aromatic flavors. So we use 2 kinds of yeast. One is for measurement the production yield to converting as much as alcohol from sugar. And another one is to give desirable flavors like subtropical fruitness we want to be as our DNA for Kavalan whiskey. So when you taste our orange, you may find the green apple or something like mango, pineapple, and sometimes you can find cherry and a bit lychee flavors in our whiskey. So that is also part of from our yeast we use. And after 60 hours of fermentation, the wash is sent to the stills for distillation. We do double distillation at Kavalan distillery. This still at Kavalan is 6 meters high. It is made of copper, so it can combine with the sulfur molecules to removing unwanted notes. So at Kavalan, it's quite different. It's because we don't have very low maturation to take out the unwanted notes. So when we have our new make, we have to make it more clean, with no off notes. So actually, when I taste our new make, it's so fruity, and I think that can be very good spirits to drink already. Even if it is 60%, you can find it is quite oily, and also it is not harsh at all. It's not burning at all. You can taste all these fruity flavors from our new make. So
Speaking of your new make, Kaitlyn, how do we get a sample of that shipped to LA?
Maybe it's quite hard for us to bring new make because Mr. Lee access only can, yeah, for bottle products we can.
I'm a world-known collector of snow globes. I love olive oil from different countries. So if you happen to send me a bottle of olive oil, I'll be happy to share with the group.
When I visit United States, I will.
Sounds good. It's a date. Please come to visit. We'll be happy to host you.
Yeah, you will let me host an impersonal tasting with your group. Yeah.
If you insist, we'd be happy to oblige.
You do not have to twist anyone's arm.
Stay out of this. I must be bribed for this.
That's nice. So in 2016, actually Kavalan do expansions to propel the production capacity to 10 million bottles a year. That makes us to be ranked up the top 9 more whiskey distillery in the world. So at the moment we are we have quite good production capacity for making whiskey. And you can see this picture is of our second distillery, a Kavalan distillery. And in front of the distillery, we have 100, I think over maybe, yeah, nearly 100 cherry blossoms. So in springtime, if you visit Kavalan distillery, you can see very beautiful cherry blossoms. And the fourth one, finally coming to Oloroso Sherry Oak, yeah, 46%. How many barrels do you fill a year? This one, I have to come back to you. Yeah, but actually our team have to, they are very flexible to, they actually take the order and then they have a estimate production amount, and then they inform the distillery, and the distillery will schedule their production. So it is not a fixed amount for every year, but we are very flexible to produce. How many barrels? How many stills? We have 10 pairs of Scottish stills. At least
10 pairs, so 20 stills.
Yeah, 20 stills. And also we have 4 pairs of German stills, which are for producing Kavalan gin. Yeah. The sherry is good. Yeah.
So you have separate stills just for the gin.
Yeah, we have a separate.
I heard you guys produce limited quantities of a peated Kavalan. Is that true?
Oh,
Do you produce peated liquid, peated whiskey?
We do. So these years we officially use the PT malt to produce our own PT new make. But before that, we source the Isla cask to mature our own new make to bottle as PT cask whiskey. Yeah. So the Oloroso sherry cask actually experienced the most oxidation during the seasoning process. So you can find the plentiful nuttiness and also the dry fruits and spiciness from the nose. I think this is a truly sherry bomb, but later we are going to taste the Cassius one, so you can compare these together to see which one is your favorite. Oh, the Korean.
Oh, I like this.
That's good.
Take the poll now before we get really tainted. This is going to be tough because I have 2 favorites of these because they're so unique. The bourbon has its own kind of smoothness. It has the bourbon characteristics, and the sherry has, a lot of strong sherry characteristics. I mean, I would vote both, but I know I only have to pick one.
David, you're ordering only one bottle, as we normally know you only do. Which bottle are you ordering? That's the question.
That would also be the dilemma because it would be both of these.
I agree with you, David.
Order both, and they're steel. At what I shared K&L's pick or a link in the chat.
Save your money and get the cast strength.
Get both. You
Get one cast strength instead of 2 of the other.
All right, how do I mute list? Has everybody voted? We got 24 out of 27. Everybody vote for their favorite. I need one more vote. There we go. Perfect. All right, I'm going to close the poll. Kaitlyn, which do you think was the favorite of the core lineup in the group?
My favorite is Council Master Pour Finish. Yeah.
For the group, you think that's the Concertmaster?
No. Oh, I have to guess. Oh, Oloroso or Oloroso sherry cask.
All right, so far, having tasted only the first 4 out of the core lineup, we voted for. It was a trick question.
Oh,
So
oh,
ex-bourbon and ex-sherry are tied for first place at 40% votes each. So 10 people voted for ex-bourbon and 10 people voted for ex-sherry.
How did that happen? Because that was exactly what I wanted.
Ex-sherry won because you closed it before mine went through.
You talk too much and don't vote enough.
that's nice. I'm so glad it's bourbon got the same votes as it's sherry. Yeah.
So that was
Nice.
fun.
Mm.
I really like going back to the glass of the ex-bourbon because it still had that very strong sweet kind of aroma, even though I just had a tiny amount left in it. And it was still had that sweetness and it was still very inviting. It was just like something you just didn't want to put down and wanted to keep enjoying.
Mm. I like the brown sugar and also the coffee finish in our Oloroso sherry whiskey. And there is a bit sweet and bitter taste on this one, I think. And when you nose it, sometimes you can find a bit smoky aromas from this one.
On the Oloroso sherry.
Mm.
The sherry has a little bit of a sulfur on the back palate in the finish to me, which is why it was very close with the bourbon, but I always vote for sherry. But the bourbon was pretty much right there too. Is that okay with you, Vadim? All right.
It's very rich, oily and full-bodied. I really like our sherry cask, and you cannot find the sulfur notes or off notes from our Oloroso sherry cask, and also other sherry. Actually, Kavalan has a very complete sherry family whiskeys from Fino, Amontillado, Mezzanina, PX, Muscatel, and Oloroso. So we have 6 types of sherry casks. We don't have is Palo Cortado. It's under aging in our maturation warehouse. So in the future, you can see if you would like to reach out to taste another type of sherry cask in Kavalan range.
That's interesting. So you're going to release a different sherry cask and you're going to differentiate at 46%. Is that the plan?
We already have Castron single malt.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So are you planning to release more cask strength different sherries? Is that correct?
Maybe in the future.
Okay.
In the future. And we already have 6, so there's only 1 left. We didn't have single cask for that sherry, Palo Cortado. But for in the future, maybe we will have some 40%, 46% bottlings, yet, as you said, for creating different sherry cask whiskeys.
Awesome. I love distilleries that focus on different sherry expressions. It's so understated. A lot of people have been drinking whiskey for years and think sherry is just one thing, where there is, as you said, 6 or 7 different kinds of sherry. It's amazing.
Yeah, and there have the sherry cask has to be certified by Consejo in Spain. So all sherry bus Kavalan stores are certified for that 7 types of sherry cask. So we are moving on to see our maturation warehouse at Kavalan. So our maturation warehouse are both 5 stories building, and inside the maturation warehouse is like a microclimate. The humidity is similar, is at around 80%, and you can see the temperature gets higher the floors. So on the ground floor, usually it's around 27 degrees. And if you go to the 5th floor, it will be very, very hot and humid. like 40 centigrade this floor. So we can have a strategy for storing our barrels. For the first floor, you will see some bourbon casks, maybe 180 to 200 liters. And then when you go up, you will see the wine barrels, maybe 225 liters, or some port barrels. And if you go higher to the fifth floor, you will see all the sherry butts, port pipes, 600 liters in the maturation warehouse. So in this case, we can balance the maturation of different size of our cask. So we can, when we blend it together, it will save a lot of time. And also we have very good extraction to get the color and flavors in summertime. You can imagine it's like you are cooking a gravy. As longer you cook, it becomes so sticky and so flavorsome. That is the heat. We trying to manage the heat to make our quality better. And also in this case, our spirits inside of the cask can extract the color. And also it's like a massage. In summertime, the air will be expanded and the liquid will be forced to get out of the cask. And then in winter time, because at Kavalan, we are located in the northeastern part of Taiwan. So actually we have the monsoon rain from the north. So it will bring down the temperature to have a very good oxidation process for our whiskey. And I just say it's like a massage. In summertime, it is forced to get out of the cask, and wintertime it will be sucked back into the cask, so that the interaction with the wood will be very intense to get this kind of color and flavor and aromas. So you can find all this whiskey, even it's merely 4 years or less than 10 years, but it still achieves a very good quality, and also it's very complex. On the nose, it's so rich.
Absolutely. Have we moved on to the Vino Barrique yet, or no? Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. I'm still enjoying this sherry. This sherry is exquisite. Oh my goodness. All of your whiskeys, I will say, they taste higher proof than they are. There's more flavor to them than what you would expect out of a 43 or a 46 percenter. That's very much a compliment that they're very concentrated in flavor.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I could see myself adding a few drops of water to a 46% whiskey to open it up, whereas I would never do that with any other. That's really impressive.
Yeah. I really like to nose the glass after it is dry out. You can nose more nuttiness and dry fruits from the glass without liquid inside. So actually our diverse climate in Yilan County hugely impacts our maturation. When our late consultant, Dr. James Wong, was talking to the Kavalan team, they came up with a process they call Kavalan maturation redefined. They think in cold regions, it usually takes longer time because it is colder, but in Taiwan, it is warm and more humid, so it will speed up the maturation time. And there are hundreds of thousands of casks aging in the maturation warehouse. So the team have to collect all the samples regularly and monitors the maturation quality to bottle Kavalan at the best time. I think that is a very hard work. There are so many casks at Kavalan, and for our maturation, it's like you take on the speed chain. So when you reach the maturation peak, you have to battle right away. And because we are not sure if you go higher, and then the quality maybe will drop down soon. So we had to make sure to battle at the best time. I think at the moment we have tasted many whiskey. I think you can find our blending team did a very good job on the whiskey QC or quality assurance. Yeah. So at the moment we have allocated over 600 gold medals or higher. And the 3-star casts at Kavalan distillery are bourbon castions and Vinho Barrique castions, and also the Amontillado sherry castions. These three has awarded the best single malt whiskey or best single castion single malt whiskey, or the worldwide whiskey, best worldwide whiskey. So we are going to taste our Vinho Barrique. This one with the blue label. And this one, because it is a single cask. So as I said, you can find the cask number. Let me show you yeah. So here you can see our Spirits Castle Convention Center, and this is our logo. And here is a cask number. For mine, it starts with W and 14 and 06. So for me, this one is 2014. We fill in the new make. And on the bottle, on the label, back label, you can find the bottling date. Mine is 2020. So in my hand, I have a 6 years Vinho Barrique. Clayton, do you have the bottle? Do you have your?
I do. So ours is 1206. So it means it was distilled in 2012.
Yeah.
And on the back, it says it was bottled in 2018. So ours is also, it looks like May 21, 2018. So we're like a month short, I guess, of 6 years old. So 511 is essentially what we're at.
For myself, it's also 6 years old.
Okay.
So this one, let's taste it.
Compared to the slide, ours is a pretty low proof. Ours is only 53.2.
Mine is 55.6.
See, we got the lowest proof of them all. It's okay. I'm sure it's delicious.
Mm.
It's interesting. So, what is Vinho Barrique? I think you're the only ones putting Vinho Barrique on a label. Is that a different kind of wine, or because if you're only getting 161 bottles out of a cask of Vinho Barrique, that can't be a sherry butt, right? So that's got to be the size of a bourbon cask. So
for the wine cask, because the first time when we import the wine barrels are from Portugal, and vino, vino means wine. So we use that tag name to name our expression. So we call it Vinho Barrique. So that is the name come from, and as you see, it's single cask. So you can see how many bottles we bottle from that single cask. Yeah, for me it's 189, and we bottle for 178 cask. So yes, it is 225 liters wine barrels. So it's quite small one. Yeah. But we can the cask maybe held the red wine or white wine before, but it has to be gone through the STR treatment, shaving, toasting, and recharging. I would like to show you a clip, video clips. it freeze, right?
Yes, it did.
I, I think my PowerPoint. Sorry. So
Okay.
I will just simply explain it. So the STR treatment is specially designed to make our Kavalan vinyl barrique. And we explore STR shaping, toasting, and recharring on the wine cask. And these casks are gently shaped to get rid of some undesirable flavors or AC compounds, and then it will toast at 250 centigrade to bring out more like vanilla and spiciness. Let me. Okay, vanilla and vanilla notes, and also the wood spiciness. So, and also to create the something like for the last stage for the charring part, we're trying to bring out the caramel and chocolate taste. So this is kind of treatment that we can. This kind of treatment that we can ensure all the vinyl barrique, they have a certain standard of the flavor profile. You can, when you nose it, you can find the caramel. It's quite distinctive. And also a very ripe melon. Ripe melon, and also some
I love that now you get music when you speak. You get intro music. It's great. You should do that all the time. Just you get beautiful background music when you speak. That's lovely. I will say this is stupendous. This is fantastic, and it drinks lower than you would think. Right? It's easy to drink as compared to the others, which was a welcome thing that the 43 drank higher or the 46 drank higher. This one is so enjoyable. Oh, it's like dessert on your palate. It's lovely.
yeah.
We couldn't have done a tasting without including Vino Barrique. I think this. Would you agree that this is the star that really puts Kavalan on the map?
Yeah, it is the one we are awarded the best single malt whiskey from World Whiskies Award. I think a lot of people were the first to Kavalan because of Vino Barrique.
Fantastic. You know, while we have this in the glass and we have you here for a second, I want to take a second to say thank you. Can everybody grab a glass and raise it up, hop on camera?
Yeah.
I'm going to kick you out of the screen sharing just for a second. Thank you.
Sure.
We want to say thank you to you for being here, for spending the evening with us, or morning in your case. Are you? I was going to ask, are you at the distillery or are you at home? Are you in Taiwan? Are people working from home right now?
I'm at my home, but my house is 5 minutes away from the distillery.
Nice, awesome. All right, I gave everybody a chance to hop on. Lillian, let's see you smiling. Nora, turn on a light. Shane, hop on in. Give everyone a chance. Even Olist joined us. Sam. All right, 3, 2. No? Okay. All right, everyone, raise a glass. Thank you very much, Kaitlyn, for joining us. We appreciate you taking the time. Thank you to Kavalan. Cheers to everyone. Raise a glass, smile to your camera. Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll send you that screen cap in this later. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
We're not done yet, but I just wanted to take a second before everybody passes out from the enjoyment to say thank you for being here. Thank you for spending the evening with us. This is really amazing. I'm glad we were able to put this together. And thank you to Carrie for the introduction.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I wanted to say hi. I've been watching this whole time. We streamed it on my TV.
Hi.
Fantastic. It's good to see you in action because we didn't get to see you when we did the interview. So now I'm hiding and you're not.
So happy to see you. Hope you enjoy your great time.
Yeah, there's a great presentation. I loved it. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. Thanks, Carrie. So just want to show you some more pictures around the Kavalan distillery. Just ensure that you will pay a visit to Kavalan when the global lockdown ends. So actually you can find a lot of beautiful rice fields around Kavalan distillery. And in summertime, you will also see the beautiful golden trees along the road to Kavalan distillery. These are the beautiful golden trees. And at the nighttime, it's also very beautiful. If you love hiking, there are so many national hiking trails in Yilan County where the distillery is based. And recently, there is one named Matcha Mountain. So it looks like the green tea matcha. It's so beautiful. It's a very popular hiking spot. And we also have our own new revamped garden hall, so you can taste the single cask strength whiskey straight from the barrel, and also you can have some drinks. There's a cocktail bars in our garden hall. The most important, you can blend your own Kavalan single malt whiskey. So we have bourbon cask, sherry cask, port cask, and also the peaty malt for you to create your own unique Kavalan whiskey. And also we have a cask strength bar in Taipei. So if you fly to Taiwan in Taoyuan, and then you just take 1 hour to go to Taipei, you can enjoy the city life, concrete jungle there, and also pay a visit to Kavalan Whiskey Bar. We have night market scene cocktails, and also we usually will collaborate with a lot of different food stands or food restaurants to create the whiskey food pairing or desserts. And also we have our own Kavalan showrooms. You can find the complete Kavalan range in our showrooms. And in the skyscraper, Taipei 101, we also have our own store or own shops for you to taste different expressions from Kavalan.
Kaitlyn, what's the overall I guess approach towards alcohol in Taiwan? I've never been, and I know some countries or some states even, you know, I went to Oregon and it's a state-run here in America, it's state-run industry. So when I went to the distillery, it was exactly the same price as it was at any liquor store. In Taiwan, is it like, you know, if you go to the shopping areas, if you go to the Taipei 101, you know, is it better to go to the distillery and go to the distillery gift shop? Do you get a better deal? Do you get more selection? And in general, like, is Taiwan a dry country, or do people enjoy whiskey there?
So so I would say Taiwanese are a lot love whiskey. So we rank the top 4 is for country for Scotch. So a lot of people drink whiskey when they just turn to 20, 18, and we are very familiar with single malt whiskey. But in Taiwan, because these stores are our own channel, so they do have a standard price. They are maybe not identical. Maybe we have different discounts at different channel. But if you go to the liquor store or retailer in Taiwan, sometimes they get a better deal. Yeah, and at the distillery, we have some exclusive products. So you can find something that you cannot find from other places. So that is the difference. Did I answer your question? Or yeah, okay, yeah.
So in essence, definitely make the time to go to the distillery. It's worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it. Yeah.
Okay.
At the moment,
Everything looks beautiful.
yeah, at the moment we have Madeira. I share
You
with
said the
you.
magic word.
Yeah. It's in a pink. Kind nice.
I mean, I'm not saying Madeira is my favorite, but
It's
oh, that's gorgeous. And it's a special bottle too.
a special bottle at 330. So that is quite limited and with a small quantity. So sometimes it's not very easy to get it. Oh, I cannot put it up. It's quite beautiful.
Wow.
It has a metallic pink label. Hope I can see you soon, either in Taiwan or in United States. The last one we are going to taste is Oloroso Sherry Castration. I think you are all pros. You are so sober until now. That is nice. Yeah. I would suggest you can compare with our 46% to see the difference between these two.
Gosh, this is just the nose on it is wow.
This is a real sherry bomb. I think it can be cigar malls. A lot of cigar lounge they will privately bottle or Oloroso sherry castrations.
Sherry casks are hit or miss for me, and this one is all kinds of hit. Oh my goodness.
What is the proof on the one that you're tasting?
I can tell you the ABV, it's 59.4.
Mine 58.6.
Aha, we won on that one. We got more whiskey and less water.
Higher proof.
So this one we're drinking today is the Whiskey World. It's an online platform in Europe. It was a cask pick by them. Kwa is one of our members who recommended this one, said he absolutely loved it and I should totally get it. And so I did. So I hope you all enjoy this.
So for our Oloroso sherry cask, you can find the dark raisin, and the plum flavors. And I really like the longan. In Taiwan, we have some kind of fruits that is that will be dried. It's longan.
Yeah, being lucky in Los Angeles, we get all kinds of exotic fruits, and I've seen longan, I've seen lychee, I've seen rambutans, I've even seen the lovely what's the oh gosh the spiky one that you either love or hate. It's not allowed in hotels.
The durian.
Durian, yes, I've even seen fresh durian here, which you know a store got a shipment of it as you're walking in.
Yeah. The nose is.
Luckily, there's no nose of durian on this.
Yeah. It's more toffee and caramel, and the nuttiness is so good.
I could just keep my nose in this the whole time.
Mm.
I was gonna say, I'm comparing this to the K&L one, and the one you provided is hands down way better.
Mm.
The other one's a little bit more smoky barbecue.
Oh, don't tell me that.
All right, I'll be quiet.
Tell him that. Tell him more of that. Tell him how awesome Vadim is. How
Wait,
wonderful he is.
which K&L one? The 57? The
57. Where is it? It's so late. Hold on. 57.8.
well, shit.
Sorry.
Enjoy the sounds. This is I'm really enjoying the drying, the mouth drying feeling on this is just amazing. Oh, by the way, let's vote. What's your favorite tasting of the night, of everything included?
I'm going to say this is not going to be close.
Yeah, I have a feeling this may be a little landslide-ish.
Classic.
I'll
On
let-
ones that are very expensive and very hard to get.
I hope you enjoy.
No, Vadim, this has been really spectacular. So, Kaitlyn, the introduction for me to Kavalan has been, I would say, one of the most impressive virtual tastings that I've had the experience to attend, where everything was good, really good. Wow, that got better. Into holy cow, what am I drinking? So it's super impressive. I am just blown away by what Kavalan is doing. I had no idea what Taiwanese whiskey was like, but I am now a converted fan. So the brand is doing exceptional work.
Thank you so much, Rob. Keep up the good work. Yeah, and hopefully we can, maybe in the future, we can create some exclusive products for United States only. Yeah. And
Definitely.
let me know what kind of whiskey would you like.
No,
We can talk.
We'll after the poll, then we'll say it. I don't want to influence anybody.
Definitely.
Thank you,
We
Dave.
got 3 people outstanding. Last people want to take their vote. 23 out of 26 have voted. Kaitlyn, have you voted?
I have
Lillian,
voted.
have you voted? And I will say, I was a little hesitant when we were organizing this, that I know Kaitlyn, you and Lillian were pretty adamant that you wanted to definitely sample the core range. And I was like, no, our guys like everything at cast strength. But I'm really glad, and I think people will agree with me, I'm glad we tried everything and worked up, because it's nice to know that you can get the ex-bourbon and it's amazing at $100. You don't have to spend $500 for like a Vino Barrique or a sherry cast strength. At 46, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and the ex-bourbon was a beautiful expression as well at
Absolutely.
46%.
All right, so we got 25 out of 26. I think that's a pretty fair polling. Kaitlyn, you want to take a stab at it? You want to guess what the favorite of the group of the night was?
What was the sherry cask?
Where's Lillian? I want to get her in for a second. Do you want to guess which one? You want to take a second stab at it? She's shy. All right. Oh yeah, she's also voting for sherry cask. All right, I'm going to share the results. On the dot. Well done. It is the sherry cask. I was expecting the vino to kind of, but I mean, it's up there. So we had 12 votes for the sherry cask, 10 votes for the Vino Barrique, 2 votes for the concert master. Wow, that came out of left field. That's awesome. And 1 vote for the ex-bourbon. That's fantastic. So it means that it's not only the cast strength expressions that are fantastic. Everything gets put out is great.
Yeah, for daily drink, I strongly recommend Concert Master.
Yeah,
Still palatable. Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah, and it doesn't break the bank as a daily enjoyment. It's absolutely lovely. By the way, I will mention that we have a member on that actually made the time to join us today. Thank you, Matt, for being here. He's a huge fan. Matt, if you want to say a couple of words, he actually had a bottle of your virgin oak that he was nice enough to share with us. And I hear that's a very special expression. Matt, are you able to speak?
Hello.
Hey, Matt.
Hey. Yeah, the virgin oak is incredible. Oh,
Matt Secchi, please meet Kaitlyn Tsai. Matt is our group's Kavalan expert. He's who I go to when I have Kavalan questions. He's
I'm
a
glad
big
you did a
fan.
sell list though.
Nice. Thank you so much for joining the
Oh,
tasting.
thanks for having us. Yeah, I have 2 bottles right here and side by side, and they were the only 2 virgin oak casks that came into the U.S. via other countries to a Hawaii group.
Oh,
14 years old, and they're so different. There's only 75 and 73 bottles in each cask.
So you
Wow.
cracked them.
Oh yeah. I'm not a stat.
That's what Matt does.
Only.
He cracks them instantly. He cracks and shares. It was absolutely is ridiculous.
I mean,
And
these
knowing-
have like these have like the craziest tropical fruit notes on them. Like, I mean, guava bomb, like passion fruit. Like it's like off the wall. Like no other whiskey has these kind of flavors like this. I think Kevin Becker said it was like, this tastes like more like Armagnac to him. He had different notes than whiskey.
Yeah. So thank you so
But-
much. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
No, please keep sharing. Yeah.
I was gonna say, if you go to Taiwan, that's the best way to get them though. That's the secret. You have to go to Taiwan. Then you can get the Fino bottles, and you can get the PX bottles, the weird wine cast bottles.
nice collection. Beautiful.
Yeah, this
Which
is
is
good too.
everyone for tonight.
Spectacular. Kaitlyn, if you could stop screen sharing, please.
Are you done with your slides, or do you have more?
Yes.
Okay. So I would
Thank you.
like to just share you with our recently launched, like last year, and maybe in the future we will bring more surprises to America in the future. So for this one, it's Kavalan Artist Series. We are in collaboration with the master artist in Taiwan, Po Zhang. And we have a spatial designed bookcase, and inside we also have the painting. We also have the oil painting in each case. And the label are the 4 different things created by Po Zhang. And you can see they are air and sunlight, Mother Earth, and also ocean. And also we created the Lunar New Year package, but also some kind of New Year package. Maybe in the future we will bring. And it has the beautiful design custom labels. It features the Taiwanese native species. So hope in the future I can see you in Taiwan, and I would like to guide you an in-depth this year tour. And if you have any questions about Kavalan, welcome to ask me through the socials. And I would like to stay in touch with you in the future when I visit United States. Hope I can have a personal tasting with you all. Thank you so much for your time today. Yeah, I hope you enjoy a great night.
It was wonderful, Kaitlyn. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kaitlyn. I put a request for Lillian to post your socials, or if you want to toss that that QR code again somewhere.
Sure. Yeah.
That collector series is gorgeous. You really know how to make pretty pictures. I will tell you that.
Thank you. And I hope we can have more spatial edition or the exclusive products in the future. Yeah, but you can still taste a lot of regular Kavalans. They are in a very high quality. I think I really appreciate that our company can secure the quality for the standard products. I think that is the best thing people can taste taste the high quality whiskey at a fair price. Like,
Absolutely. Can you speak to the fact that you can't call it soulless in the US? If I'm not mistaken, a few people have touched base on it, that what is cast strength in the US is the soulless series everywhere else. Is that correct?
yeah, that is because for the due to the trademark reason. Yeah, because the soulless has been taken in United States and also some countries. So the select countries like United States and South Africa, we cannot label it as soulless. So we label it as cast strength series in United States.
Sorry, I took my last sip of the sherry and I lost my ability to speak.
Does anybody have any questions for Kaitlyn before she goes tonight?
There's quite a few fans. If anybody would like to ask any questions, now is the time.
Yeah, this is a rare opportunity, so we really appreciate it. So seeing that everybody's kind of enjoying their last sips, just like Vadim, Kaitlyn, thank you again, taking the time to introduce a few of us to the brand and taking us through these wonderful expressions and insisting that we try the core range. And then also Vadim for being able to source, I guess you had to source the sherry, the Vinho and the Vinho and the sherry cask. Were we able to get those fairly easily, or were those, did you have to like do clandestine night operations?
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. I appreciate the work on that. That was it. The Vinho, if I'm saying that correctly, was probably one of the most impressive samples I've had in memory. So congratulations. It was spectacular.
And Kaitlyn, David says this after having done over 100 tastings in the last year. So he's
over
not just
600 plus expressions.
Yeah. so you know that he really knows what he's talking about. And that's just virtual tastings. I'm sure he drinks whiskey outside of these as well. I mean, I'm a little hurt that he drinks whiskey without me, but
no, but it was super impressive. I would definitely, if I saw it at a bar or some restaurant, I would definitely order it. And if I can chase it down for, in the $250 range a bottle, I'll definitely be picking up a few.
Awesome. Well, I want to say thank you again, Kaitlyn. Thank you, David. Thank you again, Kaitlyn. Thank you, Lillian, who remains hidden. There's a lot of work that went on behind the scenes to make this happen. And I really appreciate you both for making this possible for us. And thank you to the members for being here tonight, because if it was just a tasting between the three of us, it wouldn't be nearly as fun. So thank you everyone for spending the evening with us, morning in Taiwan, evening here. We're gonna hit end to the recording. Everyone's welcome to hang out and enjoy a dram and just chill. But if you do have to go, we're gonna make that opening. So Kaitlyn, thank you so much. Thank you again. Cheers to you.
Cheers. Bye.
Oh, one last thing. How do you say cheers in Taiwan?
Ganbei. So that means button up. You have to.
Well, definitely don't do that with the Vino or the cast strength series. But what is it? Kanpei?
Kanpei.
Yeah.
Kanpei.